Okay guys, back again with this Howard Model 45 radio. Now we'll deal with the obvious, and that is I did spray the chassis, as you can see. When I got all the guns off this chassis, it was rusted up pretty bad. So I undercoated it with anti-rust and then sprayed it with this greyish colour here. Now I did do the tuning capacitor as well. That's just got the anti-rust on it. It doesn't need anything else. It was pretty rusted up as well as with the transformer, the power transformer, as you can see. Now this anti-rust paint that I use two types. I use this one, which is you have to brush on and it's flat, like matte. And the other one that I use is a spray on, and that's full gloss, but I like the flat for these sort of things on the chassis. Now, what I did have to do, is this tube here. I didn't mention the tube lineup in the first video, so 6C6, 6D6, 6C6, 4280. This 6C6 here I had to be replaced. The original that was in there was working, but the tube tester indicated that it was on its last leg, still working, but it wasn't, it was on its way out. So I replaced that as well. Now, in the first video of this radio had a volume problem. If you remember right, I thought the volume was a bit too low. Even when it was flat out, it wasn't right. Anyway, I traced the problem. Let me turn this around. Problem to this trimmer here. Now I cleaned these up, by the way. As you can see, they're nice and clean. These three trimmers have a wafer thin mica strip in them. 10 mil by 20 mil. This one, the one here, it was split in half and had a big chunk missing from top to bottom. Must have fell out or something, I don't know. But anyway, that was the issue. So I put this trimmer on here and it fixed the problem. So that's all good. I'm happy about that. Now, another problem I had is that whenever I do these old radios, I always bench test them for like a day, 6 to 8 hours. Don't leave them alone. I did this one, I was working on it, and it was, I was working on the cabinet. Anyway, the radio was working away fine, and then it slowly faded out and stopped, and then I could smell something burning. And it was this. I'll show you. Just let me fetch it. Here we go. Where are we? The field coil. There it is there, see? It fried. And I don't know why. You can see all the different wires hanging off it. I tried repairing it, but, I'm not going to unwind all that and wind it up. So that's going in the tip. So what I did was I replaced the speaker with this permanent magnet speaker. This speaker's about half an inch smaller, but it's fine. And I did measure the field coil before I first powered it up. I didn't show it on the first video. It measures 700 ohms. So this is 700 ohms, 10 watt, but I've bolted it to this chassis, to this speaker, screwed it on. And and here's I painted the transformer. That's the full gloss anti-rust that I mentioned before. I had to make a little frame for it down here, but yeah, no, it's good. All right, so what I'll do now is I just unscrew this light because it bothers me. Now underneath, so I'll just turn this over. Now, underneath Oh, I cleaned up the power switch too, see? Looks much better. Underneath here, I had to replace a few capacitors, not many. This one here, I replaced, that's one of mine. That's the coupling capacitor. It was leaking around 2 volts, which is not much, but it's not going to get any better, let's put it that way. So I replaced that. This capacitor here is the same as this one. This is the original one. It was spot on. So that one was fine. But this one, these capacitors have a 10% tolerance. The reason why I know they have a 10% tolerance, when you look on the numbers on these type of capacitors, if there's a K on there, that tells you that it's plus or minus 10%. And this one, the one that was here, was out by quite a bit, as was this one, which I placed with a green meanie, and same as this one here replaced. And this one replaces that big one. I just left it there, the big one there. Didn't take it out. Now, this capacitor, and where's the other one? There's another one here somewhere. This one here, they're microcapacitors, and they're fine. If they weren't fine, you'd know about it. I did replace this electrolytic, which was here, put that in. I didn't replace the 2 filter capacitors. They were fine, no problems, so I didn't replace them. Now, this is the tone control. Very simple, couple of capacitors, runs off here. I'll show you this thing's a nuisance because it's loose, and if you touch the knob, it goes from low to high. I'll show you in a minute. Actually, I'll show you now. So let me just turn this back over. Let's power this thing up. All right. And you'll see what I mean. All right, she's coming on. Okay. Now I'll touch it, you watch. Hear it? If you're wondering what that buzzing noise is, it's something to do with something I got on in the house. I'm not sure what. It happens all the time. Let's see. Now you watch the volume. That's not even close. And the toner, and again, I'll touch it. Hear it? So it's really bugging me, I've got to tell you. So I'll just turn this back over, turn it off. Like I said, there it is there. And you see this here? You can't adjust it. It's been rock solid soldered on, which is very irritating. I'm tempted to pull this out and stick a pot in, but anyway, actually I might try that, and if I like it and it works fine, I'm going to pull that out and replace it. I know all the hard liners will be redlining now, but it just pisses me off. So let's just trace this through. I'm wondering if this is running off the volume control in conjunction with the volume control, is running off the plate, or if it's running off the grid. So where are we here? Let's have a look. No, that's it there. It's running over to that. That's it there. And okay, it's running up to here. Up to here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, pin 4. Okay, so it's running off the grid, so it's bleeding the treble down to ground. Okay, so let me put the meter on this thing. I mean, if it's coming off the grid, it's probably like between 10 and 20 volts or something, I would think. Coming off the output tube's grid. As soon as I get my fucking meter here. Alright. So we'll turn this thing on. just to see. We'll set this to what? Yeah, 20 volts. If there's an overload, it won't matter. Okay, now here it comes. Let's see. I'll just put this over to here. There's the meter. See what we get. Yeah, I don't think that's on properly. $15 volts. Yeah, spot on 15. Okay, well, that's about right for the grid. Okay. All right, so you know what? Let me just turn my soldering iron on. Here and here. And I'm going to look for a pot and see what sort of difference it makes. I've got a few pots in here. I've got a big box of them, but I keep a few here. Okay, here we go. I need at least 500k, I would think. What's this one? What's that say? 10k. Well, that's no good. $15k, at least 500k. What's this thing? Can't fucking see. Oh, that's 1 meg. Yeah, that might do the trick. 1 meg. Is that 1 meg? So this is 1 meg. What's it feel like? It feels alright. Alright, we'll try that. We'll get that. Now we need a capacitor, so maybe a what? 0.047? No, I think I'll use this 0.0047. I think that'll make the transition between bass and treble a bit smoother. I think I'll use one of these green meanies. Here we go. Oop, drop one. Put that back in. Where'd that go? Somewhere down there. Oh, there it is. Alright. So, we'll just go over to here, back over to here. And I'll just pause for a second, set this up. Hi, back again. Sorry about the break, I dropped the phone. I've hooked up this, I found another one. I like this one better. And I've hooked this up, as you can see, I've come from the grid straight through the capacitor onto the one tail of the pot, center tap to ground. Now, if you should be able to hear the difference when I slowly turn. Hear it? Alright, now if you're still wondering about that noise, you've got to remember that the nearest ABC, that's ABC, station toward near me is in Wollongong, which is around 90 clicks away. So what's that, about 50 something miles? So it's a fair way. And that's why I always get that sort of background noise as well, along with, I think it's my TV or modem inside or the computer that causes a little bit of noise. It's not the lights in here, they're fluoros, but I've tried it doesn't make any difference. Alright, so what I think we'll do now is we'll try and zero this thing in, give it a bit of a alignment. So I'm just going to pause again. Alright, back again. I've got this little signal generator going here. Now that ABC station I was talking about transmits on 602. So I've got this set up to 602. I don't know if you can see it there. 602 at 3 volts, so that should be alright. Now I've got the radio on, and obviously you can't hear anything, right? So we'll just tune this thing and we'll just see how good this is. So we'll just tune this in. There it is. Hear it? You hear that? So that's the signal generator. So let's get a screwdriver here. Let's see about this one here. No. Just clean the end of that. Let's see here. No, that's no good. Back again. Seems alright. No. Now I need to, let's have a look here. There's a couple of pots down in here too, right down here. I don't know if you can see that down there. Just swing this around a bit. You can hear that ABC in the background there. Come on, you fucker. Okay, let's see now. I've got that in. Oh, that seems alright. What about the other one? Change screwdriver. Let's see. Still trying. Now. Seems a bit better there. Now what about this other one? Just bear with me. No, that's about right. Alright, so that's that. So we'll just swing this around a bit. Just bear with me. Now, give these a go. Up here, got these little knob things. That's one. Two. This one fucking snapped off for no reason. Just was sitting on the bench when I turned the radio over. So pull this one out. Three. I think we'll get a smaller screwdriver here if I can find one. There we go. So let's have a look here. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's better. We'll just turn that down. That sounds better. Let's see. Can't find it. There we go. Out there. Right there. Yep. Oh. And about there. Okay, well that seems alright. Just turn that down a bit. So I'll just turn off this signal generator. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fuck, that's... Just turn this around. Tone, that stupid knob. Okay. All right. So all I gotta do is, I'm gonna leave that stupid knob in. I'm not gonna worry about the pot. I'll leave it as original. And all I gotta do is place 2 resistors. And this thing can go back into the cabinet and I'll show you the finished product. So I'll pause, hopefully. All right, so there's the finished product. It's all back together again. Excuse me. As you can see, come up pretty nice. I'm pretty happy. I did keep the original grill cloth, as you can see. But other than that, it came up real nice. I'll just get a closer look so you can see. There. Looks very nice. Oh, there's my foot, look. And, okay. Now, I forgot to mention that this has got a fuse, and the fuse didn't blow when the fuel cord burned out. And the reason why, and this is my fault, was that fuse was a 5 amp fuse. If the fuel cord was on the way out, the fuse should have blown, but it didn't because it was 5 amps, which is my fault for not checking it. So I replaced it with a 1.5 amp slow blow, ran the thing radio for 8 hours straight while I was in here working on this cabinet. Never missed a beat. Alright, so that's it for this radio. I've got an interesting radio coming up next in the next couple of weeks. It will be a Music Masters radio company radio, which I've had for about 4 years. There's a little bit of a look over it over there. See it sitting there? I don't know if you can see just there. Whereabouts am I? Just in there. This thing does not work. It doesn't work. So this might be interesting. All right, I'll see you then.